What do we aim to achieve? Firstly, awareness. Our group has done extensive research that will be featured in this video to educate people on everything from the physical to the mental effects that come with BRCA gene mutations, breast cancer, and its treatment.
Secondly, frequent checkups. Checkups, especially mammograms and genetic screenings, have helped early detection of breast cancer and even identify genes in people that make them prone to breast cancer.
Thirdly, informing those in need. We hope that through this initiative, we reach an audience that can benefit from knowing about breast cancer communities and how people show support all over the world.
Did you know 1 in 8 women will get diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime? But did you know the same can occur for every 1 in 833 men?
Based on this, who do you think gets breast cancer? The answer is anyone.
Let's look at why they get it. Number 1. Being female. In general, this increases your risk. Number 2. Age. The more you age, the higher the risk gets due to overall health deterioration and menopause. Number 3. Obesity, especially in men. Excessive weight gain causes estrogen and insulin levels to rise, which have been linked to increasing rates of cancer development. Number 4. Family history. Relations with those who have had breast or ovarian cancer increases risk of development higher than average. Number 5. Another factor includes having cancer in one area previously. Number 6. The BRCA gene mutation.
So, what is the BRCA gene mutation? BRCA stands for breast cancer, and these are the genes that help repair damaged DNA. Everybody has 2 copies of these genes, one inherited from each parent. BRCA1 and BRCA2 are sometimes called tumor suppressor genes because when they have certain changes, cancer may develop. Those who inherit harmful variants in one of these genes have increased risk of several cancers, most notably breast cancer. Those who have inherited a harmful variant also tend to develop cancer at younger ages.
BRCA1. The mutation increases the risk of ovarian cancer as well as pancreatic cancer. A BRCA1 mutation can also increase the risk of cervical cancer, uterine cancer, and colon cancer. BRCA2. While BRCA2 can increase the likelihood of a stomach, gallbladder, and bile duct cancer, as well as melanoma, a type of skin cancer, like BRCA1, it also heightens risk of ovarian and pancreatic cancer.
Why are we raising awareness of these genes? As you know, the detection of these genes allow patients to not only be aware of their risk for developing breast cancer, but also their risk for developing other types of cancers. Moreover, knowing what these genes are and what they mean to one's health can help them prepare for challenges in the future as it encourages MRIs annually and frequent mammograms. From our research and a series of interviews conducted, we analyzed the cultural perspectives of India, USA, and the Philippines on how they deal with breast cancer. We have extracted the information of checkup guidelines for each country and reasoning for receiving treatment in said countries, while also seeing the different kinds of support systems and awareness events present.
These are very standard guidelines followed across India, but it does bring attention to those who have increased risk. From an interview with a survivor, we learned that the most common reason for receiving treatment in India is due to access of family doctors and support from extended family. It can also be because the treatment for those below the poverty line is financed through the Indian government. But let's also check how is the country involved with breast cancer overall. First of all, in India, breast cancer is the single leading cancer in women with 27% of all cases. It is really high and it continues to get higher and higher as the years progress. Secondly, there has been heavy involvement, especially with the progression of newer treatments. These approaches that you see on the screen have resulted in a higher proportion of breast-conserving surgeries and oncoplastic procedures at select tertiary care centers. Maina Foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing critical funding for increasing breast cancer awareness and promoting early detection to women in need of financial assistance.
The United States Preventive Services Task Force recommends a pretty standard outline for checkups, but is more fixated on the elderly population. From a case study we analyzed, people are treated here as breast cancer is very prevalent and the death rates have gone down, but the amount of new cases is increasing, and due to this, there have been many new developments in treatment, and the National Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program is working to help those with low income and have low insurance by covering the treatment through Medicaid. The Affordable Care Act requires health plans to fully cover the cost of a screening mammogram every 1 or 2 years from women over 40. Otherwise, they can range from $250 to $499 without insurance. The partnership between the American Cancer Society and the Pharmaceutical Division of American Chemical Industries to promote mammograms is what made the month of October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And with rising cases, the country tries to hold many pink ribbon events through the month of October. In the Philippines, the guidelines ensure women above 40 are frequently tested.
Meanwhile, through various organizations, the country tries to implement public information, health education, case findings, and treatment into the community health structure while emphasizing on SBEs and CBEs. They are also targeting more education towards cancer and trying to incorporate more Filipino-led research for the betterment of the country. Overall, we can see that in developing countries such as the Philippines, the government tries to educate the public more, and only after that can they move on to financing those below the poverty line or find a way to assist them financially as India has done. Whereas a more developed country like the US is trying to bring awareness and support through events. We can also see that even in a developing country like India, having a predominant race could allow for more access to family history, a contributor to breast cancer, which is why more people are educated on this topic.
We also asked certain questions relevant to the BRCA gene mutations, as well as our topic, and these were our experts' answers.
Of having the gene mutations associated with breast cancer is 5 to 10%. We've had patients as young as 18 to as old as 99, and the average age is 50. So usually for those with a younger breast cancer, you tend to suspect that, maybe these patients could have the gene. That's why for those who are less than 50 years old, we usually test them for gene mutations. And we do that because they may be predisposed to forming other types of cancer as well. So in the hospital where I work in, we never really deal with male patients. But yes, there were males who actually had breast cancer. And those tend to be aggressive and those tend to be related to certain genes.
As you can see, we were able to answer many frequently asked questions. For anything further, we have a video with the entire interview up on our website, as well as case studies that you can scan the QR code for right now.
We also interviewed a breast cancer survivor. She received her treatment in India and was diagnosed with stage 2. Initially, she went for a biopsy after she felt a lump the size of a pebble while doing her monthly physical self-examination. This is something our group hopes to encourage and bring attention to. She also did state that there were many mental health effects, but mainly anxiety, as she was away from her immediate family. But she was also in India so that she could be with her extended family during treatment. She also stated that her support system is what got her through this, and our group hopes to let anyone out there struggling with this to know that they are supported by us and communities around the world.
Definitely. There is no harm in knowing that you don't have that gene, and if you have in case, it is better to know early.
So, what are we encouraging? Number 1, a mammogram. It is an X-ray picture of the breast. Doctors use a mammogram to look for early signs of breast cancer. Number 2, genetic testing. It will determine whether you are a gene carrier of either altered genes BRCA1 or BRCA2. Who is our audience? Our audience consists of people who have past history of cancers, the BRCA gene, or the people who are under the age of 50?
The process of anything from receiving news of having the gene to undergoing treatment has many side effects that affect mental health severely, such as depression, embarrassment, anxiety, negative body image, weight gain, insomnia, loss of appetite, and coming to terms with low infertility rates or struggles with children and the idea of having them in a quote-unquote abnormal way.
But we want everyone to know that this is not the end. There are steps you can take in the long journey ahead to prepare yourself for any challenges. You can educate yourself by researching from official websites. You can also watch motivational videos and hear survivor stories. More than that, you can take the first step by making sure you have a mammogram booked every 6 months to ensure any detection is caught early. MRIs can also be conducted annually, especially for women above the age of 25. Support is all around when it comes to those involved with breast cancer. There's even a month dedicated to it.
All over the world, there have been organizations specializing and aiding those who are at risk, have diagnosed or going through treatment, and survivors of breast cancer. One in particular, the Breast Cancer Foundation Singapore, is the one we worked with closely to raise awareness by the means of giving a talk to the Middleton International School's grade 9 students and its teachers, while attending the Pink Ribbon Walk 2022 as volunteers.
At this year's Pink Ribbon Walk, we set up booths while helping promote awareness on social media. We helped organize a race with contestants' laces tied and having them take pictures with pink ribbons supplied by BCF with hashtags while they completed a 4.3-kilometer walk.
There was also a survey and an event conducted on the 3rd of November. We saw what the general population's knowledge on this topic was, and these were the results.
Close to half of our respondents thought only females get breast cancer, whereas more than half of them knew that both genders can get it. More than 47% of the respondents were also stating that the race of a person doesn't affect their likelihood of getting breast cancer. More than half of the audience we reached before our event were unsure of the BRCA gene mutations. Our audience, due to majority being above the ages of 35, were aware of people who had breast cancer or are at the risk of having it. Also, most of our respondents knew what a mastectomy is. More than 70% were not aware that breast cancer in younger people was more aggressive. Almost all of the respondents knew about the mental health effects that go hand in hand with breast cancer, and some suggested that their awareness of the genes while worrying also helps people take precautions. We were able to see that many people were unaware of the BRCA gene mutations and that breast cancer for younger people is more aggressive. After informing them through the event and allowing people to go through our website, we were able to spread vital information and even let people know where to book mammograms in Singapore and what mental health effects themselves or someone else in their life could deal with.
During the event itself, students of grade 9, the principal, teachers, and staff got to hear from a Breast Cancer Foundation volunteer as well as a breast cancer survivor. The talk consisted of risks and myths, BSE, mammogram screenings, medical facts from a doctor, and a survivor story.
Students also wore pink to show support, and there was a distribution of wristbands, breast self-examination pamphlets provided by the Breast Cancer Foundation, and complimentary water bottles with labels that had the QR codes to our website designed and made by our group members.
Throughout our website, we hope to state our aim and our plan to develop it, as well as provide as much information as possible. Our Google slideshow gives you the run-through on breast cancer and will answer frequent queries. The definition of any unfamiliar terms are on a PDF so that people may understand the information provided better. We also give people access to the words of a professional oncologist, and we have a page showcasing our event and impact. There are also many sources all around our website, whether it be how one can show their support or how to book a mammogram. We have also listed our references for anyone who wishes to research further or verify the details that we have presented. What impact did you have from the event?
Well, I think it was a very good thing that they kept repeating the message of telling people to have early detection, to go for mammogram, whether whatever age you are actually, since now the age of breast cancer, as we know, is getting younger and younger. So especially since I also have friends my age who had detection of breast cancer at early stage in the last couple of years, and one of them this year. So I think it is a strong message to women to go for screening so that you can have early detection if it ever happens to you.
How was your experience at the breast cancer awareness event?
When we entered, the students actually told us where to sit, and then you could see that there was already a brochure on the chair with the wristbands and everything. So that was really nice. So you could see that it was actually quite well organized, because the idea of where to put your audience is already there, then projection was already on the screen. So it makes you feel that, oh, the organization is well done. I felt that the talk was good because it's done by people who are from the organization, especially with a breast cancer survivor herself giving her testimony. So that was a good thing to have. And then later on, we were given the drinks with the QR code, which I felt was a really nice touch because it's like a personal gift. At the same time, it showcased your website.
What was the impact of the event on you?
I was moved, and I was regretting that there was no such event like this during my school days. I think this is an event which highlights the issues of the day early in the life of the students, which prepares them for adult life later on.
What was your experience like at the breast cancer awareness event?
I was impressed as well. Impressed because I was impressed that young students can come out with a very mature title, and something that is very relevant to today's modern world, where there is a very high percentage of they were authentically involved in the discussion, and I think it was a very good eye-opener.
What was your experience at the breast cancer awareness event like?
I would say it's really an eye-opener for me, because I didn't really think that breast cancer was such a really huge issue. I didn't think it would be like one of those cancers that really take the lives of many women. And personally, I was glad that I attended that, because my own grandma, she suffered from breast cancer and she survived. It was an advanced stage, and I think she was like stage 3 or stage 4. So it was really an important event, and I was glad I attended.
What would you say the impact it had on you was?
And it really showed me that I had to take more care of my health. I think that really opened my boundaries, to know that we have to learn about our health, we have to know how to take care of it and to prevent, be safe.
At the end, we raised a total of $405.10 for BCF, spread awareness, and got our secondary students and teachers to show support by dressing in pink. To conclude, we would like everyone to know that we hope to spread the message encouraged by the Breast Cancer Foundation.
Early detection can save lives!